in there,
Like,
it's popping.
Hey, one thing I want to make clear: this last couple minutes, we have sounded like we're tired of. I'm not tired of this shit.
No.
I want more. I want more.
I think
I just want. I just want time to live with these songs.
no. But I think
I'm not
what I'm
tired of this
interested in more so is the bigger conversation. 'Cause I saw somebody also post something. I don't think I can find it, but I think someone said that there's something. There's something interesting about watching two black men tear each other down and the whole world sort of cheer it on.
Yes,
I think that's a little bit deep, but I get it. But what I think the bigger conversation is the music industry as a business.
Yeah,
because we still, and that what Kendrick was sort of tying into that a little bit of like, oh well, people are behind me, and so what exactly is your problem, right? Like you don't, because again, the problem is that if he's not successful, nobody talks about him. The problem is that he's successful at what he is doing. But then what's your solution to get rid of someone who makes music that a lot of people like so that we can go do what? Listen to you, who doesn't drop in 10 years? Like, it doesn't really...
What is that? What is your angle? What is your end goal?
It just sort of doesn't...
Like, if Drake is gone, how does the world look like?
How does it improve just even hip hop?
Yes.
Just hip hop.
Yes. That's a very fair question. That's a fair question.
It's just a massive loss for especially all of them who wouldn't have certain songs if he didn't.
If Kendrick succeeds by whatever miracle to get Drake completely out of hip hop.
Nah, he's not.
No. But this is a hypothetical. How does this look like? To me, if that happens, if either of them quits completely, and more so if Drake quits completely, hip hop loses everything. Hip hop loses everything. Even if Kendrick gets out, hip hop loses everything. It is not the dominant culture, music culture anymore.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. Trying to make it dominant again, right? That's because it wasn't.
Is that the potential play here?
I don't believe in the conspiracy that they're working together, but I think this is.
I'm not thinking they work together. Maybe the labels, maybe the people around them have. They're realizing our time is up. I don't think
it's as what my theory has been, because there's also the Chris Brown and Quavo beef is also going on.
There's something going on, yeah.
Right? Meg Thee Stallion had been beefing with Nicki Minaj at the beginning of the year, where there was also diss tracks released.
People are Meg is about
to release another thing very soon, which might have jabs in it as well. My theory is this. I think that in the hip-hop economy, the money has been drying up. When the money starts to dry up, people start to get like the pain starts to come up to the front. That's how it always works. Like if you take a country, for example, when the economy starts doing poor, you get more crime, you get more radical movements, you get more problems. It's the same thing here. The economy is is slowing down, the money is drying up, and people are getting frustrated and angry. A lot of this shit, if Drake does a cease and desist or says, I won't do that feature, fuck it, and you're balling anyways, you're like, okay, whatever. But if you really need this, because it's tough out there right now, and Drake now tells French, yo, I'm not going to do that. Now it hits different. Now it's more of a problem. And now Rick Ross as a distractor. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's sort of...
I think you're right.
That's the thing that sort of bubbles it up.
This feels like civil war. And this would, in a country that is in turmoil for these kind of things.
Exactly.
It is like when your currency devalues.
Exactly.
You always get into some kind of civil war-like situation.
That's a perfect way when your currency devalues.
Yeah.
The hip-hop currency has started to devalue.
Gone. Yeah.
Devalue. It's not gone, but it's dropped significantly. It's dropped significantly. Yeah. And there's numbers. People Google it, look it up.
No, but
I think they said that
it's not
like
only...
that is the first number one song
in a while.
Hip-hop song to be number one in like 4 years. It's like really long. So the shit's been drying up. And... I think that brings old, because a lot of this is old frustration and nothing new happened. That's the most important. Nothing happened. Nothing happened now.
The song Like That was not even that much of a...
No, but even like that, it's like...
It wasn't... There's been many songs, many verses like that Kendrick verse that didn't do anything. You're right. The hip-hop currency has been devalued.
And people are frustrated.
Yes. They're making less money.
And then people get and then people get frustrated.
Like
people get more angry and more irritated.
This makes me think about the question that Budden and a couple other people mentioned a couple times. Why are all these artists always touring? Like everybody's touring so much more. And
there's something going on with
they just don't have the money. Touring is the only way to make money. Streaming is fucking them up in a certain way.
Streaming is definitely fucking them up.
Other genres, I personally feel K-pop is killing them.
K-pop is doing some damage for sure.
K-pop, like the way we have talked about Afrobeats and Latin
Afrobeats
music,
is also doing damage.
But K-pop is literally cutting
K-pop, off. Afrobeats,
more than
Latin,
Afrobeats.
The Latin hip hop shit too is
Latin
doing
hip hop,
damage.
yes, but I think K-pop is really fucking with them because K-pop is structured in a way to make money. Hip hop is so loose, so culture based that it cannot compete with something so corporate.
K-pop is cool. We have to do a breakdown on that one day. Yeah, but K-pop is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too crazy because them men are mad. The K-pop fans, they're nuts. So let's not. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with them.
I was about to shit on that.
But no,
if we have a Patreon at some point, we
that's what we're doing there. Yeah. No, but the business. Yeah. That's why I think the
currency
is this.
The currency is devalued. Yeah,
the business is down. And then people get more. If everyone's eating, then it's sure, whatever. Okay,
do what you want.
But when and I don't want to. People are gonna say I'm a hater, but I don't think Kendrick Lamar liked the numbers on that last album that he did.
No, not at all.
The numbers on the last album weren't good.
No, it was 300K or something.
So now I'm I'm irritated.
Yeah.
And now you have the fucking nerve, right, to call me first to do that first person shooter thing.
And I read that
he was supposed to be on the song.
I read it. He did a verse, and it was a control-like verse again. And they said, "Nah, we're not going to do that."
Oh, he did a verse.
That's what people on Twitter are saying. But Twitter is a dangerous place to get your information from.
I mean, well, we know that there was a conversation. He was supposed to. That one is confirmed because he says it. You know, he says it in Euphoria where he makes the point where he says, "Oh, you don't want to work with me no more." Okay, like
why are you calling me still?
Yeah. He reached out to him to do first person shooter, which would have been massive, right? Which explains J. Cole's verse a lot more. The whole big three thing. Now that makes way more sense because they were just all three supposed to be.
I think they were all three on that song, and either Drake or Kendrick got angry with each other. And I think Kendrick did try to do a control-like verse, calling everybody out, maybe even including J. Cole and Drake on that song. And they said, or Drake said, "All right, we're not doing that," and that started something in here.
And that then also explains why if J. Cole's doing that and then he has to change the verse a little bit and then now he says the Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake.
Yeah.
Because Kendrick isn't here. Otherwise I would have done a different, it explains. But that's how that, if I'm already irritated and now you get me to do this shit and I don't fucking like you and then you do this shit and it doesn't work out. You give me you cut the shit off and then now your shit goes number one. Fuck you, dude. It's like. So then you get angry, and then it comes out with like that. You know what I mean? And then Drake is also irritated. I think everyone's irritated. I think everyone's agitated. Right?
I think what you're saying. I think
everyone's agitated. The
fact they are losing money.
Everyone's the money's low.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bigger conversation about this that I've seen going on that in the entertainment industry, there's a lot of breakdowns I've been seeing. That a lot of actors and influencers, even the Kardashians, there's some hints. There's some people, look it up yourself, but there's some people doing the science online about there's signs that a lot of people are losing money. And they're like the stories about people selling homes, selling stuff.
Yeah.
Cash grabby things that a lot of these actors are doing nowadays to try and make money. Like the money seems to be drying up in entertainment land.
Sales. All the
catalog sales, the house sales, people selling their homes, not just rap now, not just music.
Shows being canceled.
Yeah, not just music, not just we're talking actor Hollywood. There's people who've been doing the science on it's going tough over there, and that.
This brings me into a bigger conversation entirely. There's a kind of very bluntly said, the influencer is dying.
Oh, a certain type of influencers dying.
No, I think influencers are dying. I think influencers are being devalued, and I think this is part of it.
I think traditional influencers are being devalued.
I think certain new influencers are also being devalued. I think. Let me say it differently. They're being devalued is the right word. There are more influencers getting paid less.
Yeah, it's such oversaturated.
It's oversaturation, and people are trusting them less because there are more of them.
But that's the influencer game, right? Where you just influence.
I think that all these artists don't understand that they are actually part of the influencer game.
They are, but that's not as much of your problem if you can still make movies that do box office hits, but you can't.
You can't.
That's the issue.
You can't.
Right? You can't do that. You can't also do...
Because music and movies and TV shows have moved away from artistry to influencership. People become artists or music artists or TV or movie stars based off influencer status.
That plays a big role.
They don't, the art is gone. That makes them make less good product. That makes them get paid less. That makes them have to sell less. That makes the people that were able to get the money be devalued more, less.
Yeah, I think the economics of it also...
Everything is sliding down.
I think the economics of it also, because you don't... The business also isn't... Like, the art is not good, but the art's also not good because the business is not good. You can't... The funding is low. And you can only fund something that's a sure thing, which, to bring it back to music...
There's no sure things anymore.
Right? So, to bring it back to music, this might be some of the frustration that people have with... In an environment where the money is drying up and is being devalued, where now you have to rely on someone like a Drake a lot more. Yeah. And then if now he says cease and desist, I'm not doing the feature, the frustration is much greater than back when you could say, okay, well, fuck it, I can go and call this or this or this.
You have two options there. You can either rely on somebody like Drake or you need to go to a Spotify. Nobody wants to go to a Spotify because Spotify doesn't pay you shit. So they try and go to a Drake. When Drake says no, then you're angry at Drake. Because Spotify, you cannot box up against. You cannot box against Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, and all them, and the labels. You don't win, but you can win against a Drake.
It also explains the frustration because a lot of it seems like, and this is, people are gonna say I'm a stan, but a lot of it seems like, and even with the fans, I would say they understand. Sure, but even with the fans, it seems like a lot of people, and for a long time, a lot of people want certain things from Drake. And if he just doesn't decide to do them, people become angry. Yeah. Like, it's the same thing with... Because there's also a lot of hints that Her Loss was supposed to be the second Drake and Future album.
Yes.
It was supposed to be the two of them.
Yes.
And if for some reason it doesn't happen, and he goes to 21 Savage, now you're angry. Kendrick is supposed to be a first-person shooter. That doesn't happen. Look, now you're angry.
This for me...
He was supposed to do a song with French Montana, Splash Brothers. Yeah. Doesn't work out. Now Rick Ross is angry. Like, it's a lot of times...
To me, I tie this into that influencership. Drake is the influencer who is pickier, he's the ultimate influencer. Let me say it like that. He decides the money. He gets the most money. Everybody else is low influence and they're trying to jump on his influence. He's saying he's being more strict for whatever reason. Either he is getting less paid for other shit or he's just being more strict because...
I don't think he's being more strict. I think it's just that him being strict is more frustrating now.
Yes. Yeah. Either way... He's being more strict for some reason, and he's fucking up other influencers. Because I want to say artists, but I think this is more of an influencer economy kind of thing, in my opinion. I might be wrong. This is my theory. He's dictating so much about their pay that is pissing them off by his strictness, and I think that is all part of a wider trend. And then we go to the streamers, we go to Spotify, we go to Netflix, with Disney. All of them are trying to make shit for cheap. Your music is sold for cheap. The three, like you said before, Kendrick's album sales are very low. He's not happy.
The last one.
You know why that is? Because Spotify determines a stream is a certain amount to an album stream.
Yeah.
If music was still, if one stream was actually one song on an album, that his album would have sold way more.
Yeah, but it's still relative, right? So then
it's still relative.
It would count also for other people. Yes, so it didn't do well.
But it's because they get paid less. Like the streams are still there. The music is being listened to. I think people don't understand. I think people don't understand how much content we consume. We listen to everything. People listen to all that music. It's just that they get paid. The artists get paid less because of a Spotify and Netflix not paying them what they used to get paid. And that's hurting them.
Yeah, but it's also because the market is, and that's because it's easy to point at the corporations. Here I come, right, capitalist, but it's easy to point at corporations and go, okay, they're not paying us fairly. But it's also because they're dealing with increased competition.
Yes.
They have to deal with TikTok.
But also because
they have to deal with YouTube, which I keep telling people is a streaming platform.
It's an extra thing. They're devaluing themselves by being with so many. Everybody, the artists. Like if
you have no other choice.
You
have no other choice.
You have no. I mean, everybody with minimal effort can become a charting artist suddenly. That's what I mean. You can make a movie. YouTube. You said it perfectly there. YouTube is also a streamer. You should count YouTube in with Spotify and Netflix as a streaming giant. We are on YouTube doing whatever. We're filming this off a phone, and we are competing with a Netflix show. Mm-hmm. That devalues the Netflix show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If I drop a song on Spotify or on YouTube, I'm competing with Kendrick Lamar.
Which is why I can pay you more if I'm Spotify. Because Netflix, that's what I'm saying.
Because somebody else needs to get paid as well. We're saying the same thing, but yeah, that is devaluing everything. Honestly.
And that's frustrating.
That's frustrating for them. There's already some lingering hate, and then you go to the one you can actually talk to.
If you look at not just that, if you look at all the beefs that have been going on this year, Quavo, Chris Brown is out there still, right?
That one is brutal, actually. That's even worse than this.
A very serious one. Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, I don't think is over. And
the Cardi Nicki Minaj is also a thing. Is that also not a thing?
Oh, I don't know if that's still a thing, but
it was.
Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj I don't think is done still. I think that's gonna make a resurgence.
There was an Ice Spice and
a lot of beef going on,
like just random shit.
Right? Even P Diddy getting raided. Listen, man. I'm going full conspiracy theorist. Even Cat Williams. Yeah. Doing the Shannon Sharp thing and then the interview and making references and then the beef with the comedian. The money is drying up.
Everybody is hurting.
People are frustrated. The money's drying up. People are frustrated. And now it's like, what gets people's attention? What gets you to pop? Shooting at people, hitting on other people, bringing other people down, starting beef.
Honestly,
so that's
YouTubers.
And you're frustrated. YouTubers are going crazy.
No. YouTubers did this before. We had this whole era on YouTube where
What's
people...
happening?
They were slapping and fighting and they were beefing with each other and it made them money. So why not use the playbook on the wider scale?
That's what I think is happening.
I would not be surprised if that happens.
That's what I think is happening. I think
nobody's going to talk about this. Nobody's going to really give us any confirmation on this ever. But
when the tide comes in, you see who's been swimming naked. That's what this is. The money's drying up, and now we're starting to if everyone's making money. You shut your mouth about P. Diddy.
Yep.
Oh, everyone shuts their mouth.
The lawsuits
when the money starts to dry up.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? Now, actually, 30 years ago.
I feel bad about it.
Now, that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And it's not to discredit the people that have come forward and have said what happened. No. And there was obviously the New York law that made them possible for them. So, yes. But
it makes it easier. No,
it makes it easier.
Not to discredit them at all. Yeah. But when you're asked, it's not... You need damages for whatever because you've been wronged, but it makes it easier if you can ask $1 million.
You're more motivated to do it.
If you can ask $1 million and that's a good check for a couple of years,
you're more motivated to do it when the money's drying up. The money's drying up. The money's drying up for everyone, and that's why we're seeing.
I find it interesting. Nobody's really gonna go into this and really link that to these beefs. There will be a couple people, but. I find it interesting. I wonder how much people are gonna take this into account. Do people even understand? I don't want to say we know better than others. Maybe we're completely wrong. But do people understand that there's more than just these two motherfuckers hate each other?
I think a lot of people do. I've seen some conversation about that. Well, not right now. Right now, the last couple of days, these back and forths have taken all the attention. Yeah. So the deep dives. Like you said, it's too fast. The deep dives, we're going to need a couple more weeks. Then all the deep dives are going to come out for sure. Yeah. Because it's like I said, that stuff about blackness is a big conversation. This is a very big conversation about black identity. That we did what we could do, but someone
we cannot talk
more
about
knowledgeable than us is going to do a big a proper breakdown.
Just the simple fact that we're not from there makes it from either of those countries makes it a little bit more difficult for us to talk about that.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's more.
I'm just saying in a different way. We're not knowledgeable to that.
That's what. Yeah, the knowledge. Yes.
Yeah, we're not.
There's people more knowledgeable who can break that down a little bit better, and they will because because it's already a conversation. It is part of every. That's what everyone's talking about.
I think that's.
It is part of the conversation. I'm like,
besides just pure hate, I think
there's some people who don't like that, and there's some people who do, and they think it's a valid way to attack someone. And
it's a very big part of this.
Where you stand.
I'm curious. I don't want anybody to drop now for a week.
I don't know. I think Drake drops before a week.
You think?
I think Drake drops before a week. I think Kendrick. My bet is that Kendrick slip. Maybe there's one more song, but I think is emptying.
Look, if they do.
And if it's not empty, then I think the next couple songs are not going to be very high quality. Because now we're going to start rushing things. I think he should. I think he should have waited, man. He should. You did the Euphoria was so good. You could have sat on that for like a week.
But you could hear that it took some time. That's why.
Yes.
That's why he took 17 days, 14 days to.
But then wait. It was good enough to where you can also hear that. You dropped another 3 songs after that. Come on.
You can also Not Like Us took a little bit of time as well. It took a little bit of time.
I know people are going to hate me because that seems to be the favorite one, Meet the Grahams. People really like, although this just dropped, so we don't know. But Meet the Grahams sounded unhinged. It sounded unhinged and rushed.
I don't know what is the favorite because everything is recency bias. I don't know what the favorite is. I see people...
True.
I see people talk about Euphoria and push-ups. That's the only ones that I hear people talk about, go back to and say that they're good. But everything else is recency bias. Like, every day it's a new song or every 2 days is a new song. Nobody can really choose one.
Yeah. That's true. That's a big part of this. Oh, this was a lot of shock value factors. But
I think after thinking for it a little bit, you're right. Drake is going to respond.
I think Drake will respond within a week.
Probably Friday next week or
something like that. I think Kendrick's slip is empty. I think you should have ended on the high note that was Euphoria.
I think Kendrick will. I hope Kendrick takes at least a week off and then comes back with another one. Like, let Drake's drop one, let this one live for a bit because you said some shit on Not Like Us. Let it live, and then let Drake respond in however fashion he wants. If you think Drake is gonna fumble, let him fumble. If Drake is gonna do well, let him do well for a week, and then come back with something else. Like, give it 7 days. But we'll see. Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. It's only this. There's nothing else.
No. That's I think the bigger conversation. Like I said, the bigger conversation is, and that more of that will come forward soon. It's just the business of things. I think the money's drying up. I think people are struggling. People are more frustrated, and then it's a combination of you're more frustrated, so easier to get into beef, and then at the same time getting into the beef helps with the money shit.
Yeah,
that's why I think that's where I stand.
One last question before we stop: do you think they're making ad money on these YouTube releases?
They probably. Well, their ad money is being made. If it goes to them, it's a different question.
No, yes, good point. I'm just wondering.
I don't think it goes
because I'm surprised. I'm like. Euphoria is still not on Spotify, right?
Euphoria is on DSPs.
iTunes.
Yes, it is. Euphoria is on DSPs. All of them are on DSPs almost. All the Kendrick shit is on DSPs. Well, I don't know. I have YouTube Music. So YouTube Music, if you drop a song, it's on DSPs.
Okay, yeah, no. All of them are
they're all on DSPs, yeah.
Then this episode might not be playable. I thought they were not.
That's what I was saying, yeah. Not Like Us is right there, yeah.
Yeah, Euphoria's there. Not
you
Like
dropped
Us
them.
there. Only 616.
But Family Matters is also on DSPs. I could have told you that. I was listening to it on DSPs the entire time.
Yeah, but YouTube Music and...
Look.
Yeah, okay. This episode might not be out then. Yeah. We need to see.
Cut it.
Yeah, I know. No, but we talk over a lot.
Yeah, but you can cut the whole part.
Otherwise, I'll put it on YouTube and let somebody else eat of this. All right. We thank you for listening. We were the Three Angry Men 2 now. Duncan will be here next time. I'm curious to his thoughts. He's the more neutral one.
Yeah, curious to see what he says.
I'm Jeffrey.
Oliver.
And we thank you for listening. You can find us obviously on YouTube, where you were probably watching us, or on Spotify, where you're probably listening to us. We're also on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube Podcast. That's also a thing now. And other places. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram as well. And see you the next time when there's more beef talk, or we find another topic finally to talk about.
More beef.
Peace.